Welcome to In Focus with BOCRA. I'm Masako Jeremiah, and with the studio here tonight is Mr. Nyelesi, Director of Broadcasting and Corporate Communications. We're looking at different issues that affect the sector, particularly the consumers or the users of the communication services. Mr. Nyelesi, let us talk about the internet. People always talk about how internet is slow in the country, especially now that you have people working from home, you have people wanting to consume entertainment services using the internet, and even work purposes. All the other things are now centered around internet, and perhaps this is the most important time to ensure that the service is actually more efficient than ever.
Yes, we often come across complaints that our internet is very slow. Internet comprises of several elements, and I think it is important for Botswana to also understand that bit. If you look at the whole internet infrastructure, the whole content of internet is based outside, usually the US, Europe, and stuff. And then we have what we call undersea cables. Those are the long cables that bring all the internet from the US, sometimes all the way, or from Britain or the UK, or even Europe, all the way to our ports in Namibia or ports in South Africa. And then it has to transit both Namibia and South Africa to end up in Botswana. When it comes into Botswana, it runs through what we call a national backbone. And for it to end up in your house, it then goes into what is called the last mile. All these elements have cost to them. I think the biggest problem is that internet, we should accept, is not residing with us. It comes from abroad. And therefore, when they cost internet, all these things come into play. But the slowness of internet, it's also based on a variety of reasons. Sometimes people don't understand that, but well, it can depend also on the gadget that you are using. For instance, if you are using a very old computer with old software that has not been upgraded in a long time, you are bound to get it slow. If you try and access a website, for instance, maybe it's World Cup and you want to access a FIFA website, you will find it slow because everybody is there and there is congestion. Sometimes people say, I was alone at night and I was trying to go onto the internet, it was slow. And they are trying to go onto a site maybe that is in the US. And they do not take into account that, yes, we are asleep in this site, but they are active in the US. So there are all these various elements that are involved in you speaking to the speed of the internet. However, it is important, first of all, that when you apply for an internet service, you determine your workload. If you are a company, for instance, you say, I have 100 people, they do 1, 2, 3. So how much capacity do I need for my internet to be good? Do I need 2 meg? Do I need 10 meg? Do I need 20 meg? So sometimes we find it's under supply. You find a whole hotel has a 2 meg line and they want to service all the 50 rooms. And that's when people say this is very slow. So there are those various elements that needs to be taken into consideration when you look at the internet speed. But again, I was saying, kind of internet is shared. There's what we call dedicated internet. There's also shared internet. And I always like to give the example of water. To take water from a dam in Madinari, Litsibogo Dam to Gaborone, you'll have a pipe, a very big pipe. So the water comes in that big pipe. When it arrives in Gaborone and it branches off maybe into Pakalan, the pipe becomes smaller. When it branches ultimately into your house, the pipe is even smaller. That is what is happening with the internet. So, because ultimately those that feed off the pipe that goes into Pakalan is all those households. If you happen to open your tap at the time when everybody has closed their taps, you'll find the pressure is very high. But if you open it at 6 o'clock and everybody is home and everybody has opened their taps, you'll find the thing is the pressure is low. So that is what happens with the internet. We share it because we cannot afford dedicated lines. And so therefore, once we enter and we use the internet all at the same time, the speed reduces. But if you have the money, you can actually go for a dedicated line.
Thank you. I think that was quite insightful. I want us to go for a quick break, but when we come back, one of the most interesting topics on the public domain is the mobile money transactions, especially the incompleted ones or the ones that people don't know where they originated. So let's just grab a glass of water and then talk about mobile money transactions.